Hi, and welcome back to Serenity Cove Crafts. My name is Linda, and I'm so happy you're here to join me. Take a little time out of your busy schedule to relax, to create. Okay, so what we're going to make today is an adorable little gnome. That's G-N-O-M-E, a gnome, a sewing caddy or a knitting crochet caddy. So it's going to have a little container that you can put your crochet hooks in, your little pair of scissors, and the head is going to be a pin cushion. Oh, okay, just to show you that I embrace my imperfections. I've been using this as a pin cushion. Some time ago I made it, and well, it doesn't look half bad until you realize that this was supposed to be a cupcake. And as you can see, I kind of got away from me, so it does not look like a cupcake. Maybe someday I will have the courage to try doing a cupcake again. And if I do, I'm going to bring it to you guys. But I figured it's time to have a little prettier of a sewing caddy. So without further ado, what you're going to need for this project: 2 different colors of yarn. I'm using this off-white color, which is a Bernat Premium, and then I'm using this bluish green color. It is Bernat Premium, and it is called Teal. You will need both your 48-pin Sentro machine or your 46-pin Addi and your 22-pin machine. You're also going to need a hot glue gun and some glue sticks. I'm using this fun fur. Now, if you wanted to change your gnome up and turn it into a girl, you can bypass the whole beard thing and then just make some braids out of yarn and glue them underneath the hat. And then that way, you know, you're not messing around with this stuff. I just cut it, and I'm wearing a black top, so thank God you can't see my black top. It looks like I have a whole bunch of huskies running around, and I don't. You're going to need to either make a small nose out of yarn, or I have these half circle wooden, I don't even know what to call them. They're not even circles. Half circle wooden nose pieces. And this one, I believe, hang on, let me check that. It is 25 millimeters. You know, cheap. You can get them Temu, Amazon. If you don't have one of these, just go ahead and you make yourself on your 22 pin. Do maybe only about 8 stitches maybe, then double it and then stuff it a little bit and then sew it onto the nose. That would be my guess. And you're going to need a paper towel, cardboard tube. This is going to form the basis or the shape for our little caddy. I am using a little white pom-pom. I'm using beans just to add a little bit of weight. If you have clean kitty litter, rice, barley, you know, you can throw them in a little baggie and use that to weigh down your project. Or you can just forego it altogether. Don't worry about it. It's all good. I don't like us to have to stress about anything. So I have just plugged in my glue gun, and I'm going to attempt very, very hard to not burn off my remaining fingerprints on camera here, because that's just, well, you know, I mean, that's life. Accidents happen. But, you know, seriously, people, safety first. Just try to be careful. If you have those little finger cots, those get little rubber, not rubber, but little plastic or silicone finger cots, they'll help you to, you know, avoid getting burnt. So now with this off-white yarn on my 48-pin Sentro, I knit 35 rows. So what we're going to do here, okay, we are going to close it the way we would close a beanie. you'll be cinching, tying off, and doubling your work. Now, if you have a preferred method of doing that, please go ahead. Do whatever you feel comfortable with. I taught myself how to do it this way, and it's the way I'm most comfortable doing. So I like to secure the stitches that are on this last row here. So I'm basically going in with the threaded needle, and I am just picking up these stitches. Now we're going to be doing this on this technique on the hat as well. So you can go ahead and do that to one end if you'd like. Or you can just sit back and watch me bumble my way through this. In case you guys haven't figured out, when I am doing a video, I often don't know what the end result is going to look like. So I'm kind of making it up as I go along. I'll usually scribble down with a pencil in a sketchbook. I kind of scribble what I would like it to look like, and then I sit down and I try to figure out how many rows I would like. And as far as how it's going to look in the end, well, put it this way, if it doesn't turn out, you won't be watching the video. I've already embarrassed myself enough by showing you my cupcake pin cushion. I just do that just to show you that, it's not serious. It's good. We all learn. We all started somewhere, and that's okay, wherever you are on your journey. Okay, so I'm just closing this end off. Just going to tie it. Normally I would tie it a couple of times, but since I'm going to be joining it to the other end, tying it off inside, I'll just knot it the one time. Okay, I'd like you to do the same with this end, and I will be right back once I have that done. Okay, I'm back. Now I've got both ends cinched, tied, and what I'm going to do is double my work now. So I'm going to put one end inside the other end. Okay, I'm just going to thread the outside yarn. I'm passing the needle through the middle here, and I'm coming out the exact center on this side as well. Right. So now I'm just tying this. I'm going to tie this really well to secure it. Okay, now we're going to hide the ends. You don't have to hide the ends because we're just going to be putting stuffing in here. This isn't going to show. It's not going to be a hat or anything like that, so it's your choice. For the sake of this video, I am hiding the ends. Let you think I'm semi-good at what I do. Oh, good. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to add a drawstring. Some people like to stuff first and then add a drawstring. I prefer to add the drawstring first because then, well, you'll see when I'm stuffing, I'm able to have better control of the tube once I have this on. So I'm just basically going in, I'm just picking up at the open edge here. I'm just picking up, grabbing 2 stitches, jumping over one, picking up 2, going over, and then grabbing 2 and over. Don't pull too hard. You don't want to lose this tail end, or you'll have to start all over, which I've done that before. More than once. I've done it more than once. So perhaps you can benefit from my cautionary tale. So you go ahead and do yours. All right, I'm over at the end now. Just kind of even these out. There we go. See, maybe now you can tell what I'm referring to when I'm saying it's just a little bit more manageable once you have these on. I'm just going to grab some beans. Just want to weigh it down a bit. You can just bypass this part if you don't want to weigh it down. Okay, some stuffing. Now, we are going to stuff this. We're going to stuff it very generously. Okay, there we go. So nice and generous. I'm going to tie this off. Don't worry too much about this hole because it's going to be under the hat and we are going to be gluing the hat on or tacking it on if you prefer to sew. Don't worry about this hole because we're just going to sew it up. It's easy peasy. Okay, I'm just kind of going across here to this side. Now what I actually should have done is doubled the yarn. This way I would have been able, it would have been strong enough for me to pull really tight to get that closed. So that may be something you may want to consider. Just double your yarn when you're making your drawstring. That's fine. Mm-hmm. Right. So this is going to be the body, or well, I guess the face, because the hat will come up to part of the way, and then you'll have the nose and then the little beard. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and hide this inside the work. All right. Now keep all of your yarn tail ends because you can use them to stuff. I have a whole bunch of yarn tails. I just didn't want to use it to stuff for this because it's a light color and the yarn tails I have are really dark colors. But they make excellent stuffing, they really do. Now, I'm just going to put this aside for a second. Here is the beanie. Now with this I did 40 rows on my Sentro 48 machine, and I cast off, I cinched both ends, tied them off, doubled my work. So this is where I'm at here. And there again, whatever color selection works for you, you go for it. This is one of the few times you're ever going to see me use a crochet hook. I use them when I do hat tassels on scarves, or when I am working with hats, or pom-poms rather. So the pom-pom that I have here, it's just, I don't know, from Temu or Amazon. Kind of went down a Temu and Amazon rabbit hole ordering craft supplies about 8 months ago, so I can't keep track of where I got them. So basically, I just kind of put the hook through the elastic, shake it. Or you could take a blow dryer to it for a few seconds, but I'm fine just doing it that way. So I'm going to take the hook, put it right through the middle, come out the middle, okay, and I'm going to grab the pom-pom with the hook. I'm going to pull it through to the inside of the hat. Alright, so what I'm just going to do here is I'm just going to take a piece of the yarn, pull it through, and I'm going to do the same with the other side. Now, if I were making a beanie that someone's going to wear, I use balloon clips. And with a balloon clip, you just kind of put it in the middle, and with the crochet hook, you pull your pom-pom through, and then you slide the elastic part over the balloon clip. This way they become removable pom-poms. So if someone's too cool to have a pom-pom on their beanie, then they can just remove it easily. And the pom-pom's all the way at the top. I have the balloon clip, so it shouldn't be bothering anyone's head. Okay, just a little tip. Get this crochet hook out of here. I'm going to hide my tail ends. Now for the next step, you're going to need the nose, the fun fur, and your hot glue. Now, with the fun fur, if you don't have any, that's fine. You can just turn your little gnome into a girl. So you still make her a hat, but what you would then do is you would just grab some yarn in whatever hair color you'd like and make braids, and then you just kind of tack them to the head, and then you would have your hat over, and then the nose. There we go. There we go. And she'd have the braids. So that's one way of going. Now with this, I am going to, let's see. Kind of mold it. I'm going to want to go on this side, over here. In my case, I'm just going to take, so this is where I will be gluing, okay, just a little bit. My glue gun is one of those really high temperature ones, so the chance of burning myself is, you know, quite high, quite high. Just going to go like this here. I just want to get the beanie just kind of in place, because I will be folding up a brim. Okay, so what I want to do now, I'm going to figure out where I want the nose. So my nose, probably go around here. A little bit of glue. Okay, I'm going to put this right around here. Just hold it. I ended up getting a little excess here, but I don't worry about that because I will be putting the beard on, so we're good. Right. I will tack that down once I'm done with the beard. Now for the beard. Let's see. Okay. So what I'm going to do now here, I am going to cut a little notch just here in the middle, like that. And that will go under here. I'll make it a little bigger because I'm using a fairly large wooden bead. And there we go. Now I am going to need to determine, okay, I'm probably going to trim it to about this length. Okay. I'm just going to go about like that. So with the fun fur, just going to want to brush against the fur. Pull it up, because once we start cutting, don't want to chop off all the the long fur parts. You just want to, there we go, just pull it upwards, go against the grain here. Right. So on this side, I am going to, let's see, give myself down about an inch. Just mark off about an inch. Okay, let's see. Okay, I'm just going to meet up to that. The same here. So now, just make sure your pile is going this way. Okay, so now we're just going to cut. And then I'm brushing, you know, I'm kind of brushing it away from the scissors on this side. Now you see, if we didn't brush the fur up that way, we would have cut through all of it. Sort of defeats the purpose. Okay, and there we go. Let's put this aside. Okay, so now we'll put it back in the right direction. All right, so what I'm going to do here, let's see, I'm going to put, just move some of this stuff over. I am going to put, oh, and then just for measurement's sake here, I went down about 3.5 inches. So it was about 6 inches this way, and about 3.5 that way. And then my little notch is about 1 inch for this size nose. Okay. So I'm just going to start off by putting a little bit of glue just right here. Just want to get this on. So we'll go like this. Go. Just going to push this up. I made so many gnomes for Christmas that that's why I have all these gnome supplies. I live in a building here and I'm new to this area for the past year, so I made these Christmas gnomes for all of the tenants. Okay, so now I am going. Now you can see he's starting to come along. He's getting there. And just be careful, don't hurt yourself. Just going to glue here. We're going to glue along here. Okay. And angle that up towards going up a bit. See? There we go. And we'll do the same thing with this side. Guide it upwards. Right. Now, you can just take some yarn and sew it into place, but I'm just going to glue it. Right. I need another glue stick here. Let me go. I'm just going to start straight here. And I'm just guiding it to the shape of a brim. I actually probably should have made the body part 40 rows instead of 35, but that's fine. That's fine. If you're watching this tutorial before you pull out your knitting machine, then you know You'll see mine and you'll realize, see, the hat ends up being a little big, but that's okay. Okay, so I'm just going to tack it all the way around. And oops. And just a little bit of glue here and there. Not enough so that it feels all crusty and chunky. Go. Right. There we go. All right. And I may also, just a tiny little tack here. And just a tiny little tack it up there. Just very minimal amount of glue. There we go. All right, so we're done with him. So for the next step, what I did is I took out my 22 pin machine and I knit. This is going to be the cup holder, the caddy, and that I wanted it to be about 4 inches tall. So I figured standard is usually 5 stitches per inch, give or take. It depends on your yarn too. So I figured if I wanted 4 inches, that would be 4 times the 5, so that's 20 rows. And of course I wanted to double it. So altogether, you'll be knitting 40 rows. Now you're not going to double your work, not at this point. What I am going to do is I'm just going to measure roughly about 4 inches, and I am now just going to cut the tube. Okay. So following those calculations, this should fit. What I'm going to do here, I am going to double the work like this. I'm not tying anything off. Okay? And I am going to have to cut this down a bit. I'm figuring about, let's see, what do we have here? I'm just going to cut a little bit. Okay, so we'll just cut it down a bit. So basically what we're going to be doing here, the inner part, we're going to feed that through the tube. And it will meet up to the outer part right here. So now we are going to close these ends and see. I knew that there was a slight method behind my madness, or madness behind the method. And we're just gonna tie this up good. Let's take a look here. I am going to hide the ends. Actually, hang on a second. And I am going to show you here how we can just sew this right onto the gnome. Now I'm going to want this to be about like that. So I'm just going to feed the yarn here to the top. I want it at the top, and then I'll sew my way down. Oops. Actually, I'll probably sew it about halfway. I'm leaving this end just so we can tie them off. Okay, so just find a spot. If you want, you could put your caddy on, you could put it on that side. We'll go with this side. Okay. Okay, so I'm just going to match stitch this. A couple stitches from the tube, and just join it to a couple stitches from the hat. Work our way down. Going through there. Okay. I'm going to take this. I am going to weave the bottom end here into the needle. I am just going to kind of snake this through so that it meets up over here. I am just going to kind of loop it through. Loop it through here. So I'm going to knot this end. And I'm just going to hide our ends. See, I'm just going to hide them in the cup. Let's go. There we go. There we go. Now, actually, I think that I may add a little bit of glue. But this is what I have. He's so cute. And I am going to just tack just a little bit of glue here just so that, oh, there we go. That's actually better. You can't really see it. Once I positioned him right, then it stood up. It stood up well. Okay, and then so crochet hook. Oh, and look, his head's a little pin cushion. There we go. Some of these needles, my pen, and my pair of scissors. And there we go. Well, I hope you enjoyed spending this time with me. I am working hard to bring you content. Actually, I try to work between YouTube and Etsy, but I'm having more fun loading these free tutorials to YouTube than I am creating content to upload to Etsy. So I'm spending time with you guys right now, and I'm enjoying that more. So thank you. Thank you for spending this valuable time with me, and I'll see you next time around, I hope, and take care.